NGO meetings, they will go to the villages, they will go to the slums, they will work day in and day out. And that was all because the doctors were at the center of that movement. They were spearheading that movement, they were giving energy to that movement, they were giving direction to that movement, they gave vision to that movement. And because of that vision, in 1994, on October 2, we could successfully launch the Pulse Polio program in the capital of India. And then we saw ourselves that the program, because of its successful model that we could create, it saw it being emulated in the whole country. We saw it being emulated in the country in 1995. We saw it being followed by the countries of the Southeast Asia region in 96. And then when India could do it in 95, we have seen that it was launched in Africa, South Africa also, by Nelson Mandela, who had just come out of jail at that time. And the rest is a long history, because I had the privilege to work on this particular aspect with WHO also for many Southeast Asian countries, was part of most of the international committees discussing and deliberating and working on polio eradication for almost 2 decades. So I can appreciate it from the core of my heart that when India decides, or when the medical profession decides, it can deliver, it has the capability, it has the potential, and it can take up even the hardest of challenges and successfully actually accomplish success. And this is what we could achieve in COVID also. Because COVID, you will all recall that when COVID had come, and then we were in those initial stages, we started our preparations on 8th of January. Our first case had come on 30th of January. And we all know the initial history, and then a lot of experts used to come from abroad, who used to hold very leading positions in American universities and American academic institutions and various other places, and they came here to India and they said India is going to be destroyed. COVID will destroy everyone. COVID will cause 300 million cases in India. COVID will cause 6 million, 7 million, 8 million deaths in India. But we all saw what happened during the course of the last 14 months. Because of your contribution and because of the hard work of the medical profession, of course supported by everyone else, we today have the highest recovery rate in the whole world. We today have the lowest fatality rate in the whole world. It is the same country where people on every television channel used to shout, test, test, test. What's India going to do with few thousand tests? And for last 6 months, I think we are doing more than 1 million tests every day. It was just 6-7 years back that India used to send its swab for similar testing to CDC Atlanta. All our samples used to be sent to America for testing. And when we started with COVID, we had only one place in this country where we could isolate the virus, where we could actually test the virus. That was NIV Pune. And today, after the end of 14 months, today morning when I saw the figures, we have 2,402 labs in the whole country where the testing is done. And during this economic crisis, we have been able to formulate plans for the next 5 years. We are going to have 4 to 5 more institutions like NIV in the country at all the regions. We have one NCDC in Delhi, National Center for Disease Control. We are going to have 5 more at 5 more places all over the And it's a huge, you see, uh, under Prime Minister Modi, we could convert all those challenges, all those adversities into basically opportunities. It was mentioned here, you all remember in the initial stages, there was so much of hue and cry about the shortage of these PPE kits, N95 masks, ventilators, etc., etc. And then we were suddenly producing more than 5 lakh kits every day. We must have supplied over 4 crore N95 masks to the whole country, over almost 1.7 crore PPE kits. And there came a time during this 2020 when most of the states were saying, sir, please don't send PPE kits to us, we don't have place to store them. We were giving them, we supplied 37,000 ventilators. We were giving hydroxychloroquine to 150 countries of the whole world. And today, as a part of the vaccine matrix, we are supplying these vaccines to almost 60 countries of the whole world. 2 crore 10 lakh almost doses have been given to say 1 crore 70 lakh people, and all of you have already received. I had to wait till 2nd of March and wait for my turn along with the Prime Minister, who said everybody has to wait because he leads by example. He said we all have to wait for our turn. So we had to wait for the category of 60 above, 60 plus to take the vaccine. And now, you know, almost 3,75,000 sessions have been organized all over the country. Almost a few thousand hospitals, all private hospitals. When I went to take the vaccine, I said Hanumanji went all the way across half of India to get the Sanjeevani. But now we have provided this Sanjeevani next to your doorstep. Every hospital has got a facility. You remember all those interviews which were given on the television channel by the manufacturers saying that this vaccine will be worth 1,000 rupees, 2,000 rupees and all. We know how sincerely the government negotiated with the people to ensure that the prices are capped for everything, which is ultimately to ensure that things are in the larger interest of the people. And then the facility has been made available on in every hospital, almost whosoever wants to have the facility. And then the seamless operation on the COVID platform. You are all aware of that. This is probably the biggest, most successful seamless operation, signifying the success of the Digital India program, which was launched by Prime Minister in 2014. And most of the things that we work in this government now are done, in fact, digitally. All this actually could happen because we all worked like a team. This was a whole of government, whole of society, whole of medical professionals approach. And whenever there was a need, you will recall the early stages of the COVID fight against COVID. How much of stigma was attached to those doctors who were serving these patients. Doctors were like literally doctors and healthcare workers. They were chased away, they were beaten. But the government had the wisdom to immediately step in. We changed the Indian Epidemics Act immediately. And after that, I think when everybody was warned about the possible punishment that they would get, you have not heard of any incident like that in this country. And when we started losing COVID warriors, doctors, nurses, the government of India stepped in. For the whole country, wherever a COVID warrior lost his life, this life insurance of 50 lakh rupees the Government of India is paying for each and every COVID warrior that is who unfortunately lost his life during the course of this pandemic. And even for the vaccines now, the Government of India pays for every vaccine being given to every Indian all across the nation. And we feel really grateful because as a Science and Technology Minister, I have seen that also from close quarters, the contribution of our scientific community and the vision of the Prime Minister who supported the scientists in a big way, creating a fund of almost 900 crores for the development of the vaccine, the COVID Suraksha Fund. And right now you have got these 2 vaccines, there's another 5 to 7 vaccines which are in the clinical trial stages, some of them in very advanced clinical trial stages, some of them awaiting emergency use authorization by the drug controller. So very soon in the coming years we'll have many more vaccines in the market. And then the way scientific community could really transform the situation from a situation where we were forced to get all these kits and everything from outside at prices which were like literally unaffordable for the country. But since it was a crisis, since it was an emergency, but then our scientists ensured that almost we were producing 10 lakh kits a day in this country. We were the first ones to isolate the virus. We started, but today people are talking about the genome sequencing and all because of the UK variant. But in my ministry, in Kalyani and other labs, we started genome sequencing in May, June itself, and every month we were reviewing what's the what's the mutation happening, is there any significant mutation taking place in the virus which is going to cause more of problems. So friends, the point that I want to make is that 2020 I think is an year of the contribution of the COVID warriors. It will be remembered for COVID causing so much of devastation, but it will also be remembered as the year of science. It will also be remembered as the year of contribution of the COVID warriors. It will be something which will be written in grand letters in history textbooks, and it has shown to the world that India, if it decides, it can do it. It has the potential to do it, it has the capability to do it, it has the DNA to do it. So, I would appeal to all of you. You see, I personally feel that COVID, if all of us remain together and if we have the right, I think that the country has the right approach, COVID is already on its way out. The only thing that we need to ensure is that number one, to keep politics out of the war against COVID. I think that's the most important thing, which unfortunately few in our profession are also not able to understand and appreciate. And then the second important thing is to appreciate the role of science and to appreciate and learn and also respect the contribution of science, which again few in the country are not able to either understand or deliberately they are trying to push it unnecessarily politically. And then of course the third thing that I feel is most important is to create a sort of a movement for ensuring that maximum people they get vaccinated against COVID. This is where I see the role of the Delhi Medical Association and its members once again, because once a doctor says something, once a doctor appeals, once you get in touch with the NGOs in your area, once you get in touch with the RWAs in your area, and once you tell everybody that get yourself vaccinated as early as possible, so that ultimately we are able to move steadily in a direction where the society also develops some sort of a herd immunity against COVID. We have already seen that there is so much of importance of COVID appropriate behavior, but I feel sorry when I see some of the doctors also taking the wearing of masks, etc., a little lightly. I would, because I have in the last 14 months seen so many people, and I have seen so many people slipping away from us once for all. And when we would analyze the reasons, we would say they were just about careless in their approach. The way our Dr. Sunil Singhal, the former president of IMA's Delhi branch, is sitting here without a mask. I think this type of behavior coming from medical professionals is not acceptable, because this sends a very wrong signal. People feel that now India has achieved a very significant success. Everybody is appreciating, WHO is appreciating the success of India and its achievements. Vaccine is already there, people are getting vaccines. Now there is no need for precautions. But I think the most important thing to do is to pursue once again, for which I had said even during the last 1 year, was that vaccine may come. Now vaccine has also come. But this is the most potent, powerful social vaccine that COVID provided to us. And in fact, COVID virus, I respect the virus in a way, because the treatment for COVID is not so difficult. It's only about simple precautions. And I know that this mask can protect you how well and so well that if you wear it properly, I think it's a very potent tool to keep COVID away from you. And you have yourself in Delhi Medical Association launched the movement about mask and for bhagawing COVID. But if you are yourself not wearing the mask and only distributing the mask, the message gets diluted. So I would suggest that this particular conference, one of the most important resolutions of the conference should be to once again reinforce and strengthen the movement for following the COVID appropriate behavior, and also help in getting a Jan Andolan strengthened in the country for vaccination. This is going to take us further in the right direction. Dr. Pandey and Dr. B.V. Wadhwa has mentioned a couple of things about the problems that you all are facing. You will all remember that the long-standing problem, if people will remember 94, the long-standing problem of the registration of the nursing homes and hospitals in Delhi. Dr. Prem Agrawal will also endorse what I say, that it was solved by Dr. Harshvardhan as Health Minister in 1994. And it was only after that we had that issue resolved once for all. So all these problems, you have some issues with house tax, or you have some issues with environmental ministry. From time to time, whatever issues have cropped up, you all know that I have tried to take them up very sincerely and very diligently with the respected authorities, and we'll certainly take them up once again with the authorities. And I